Hi everybody, Ryan Belanger with Golf Newsnet here with an update on some new irons from TaylorMade Golf. They actually released two sets announced today, but one of them we're going to focus on, which is the P790 irons. And this is their foray into the forged distance category. So when you think forged distance, you probably think a couple different sets of irons. You probably think about Callaway's Apex CF16s. You probably certainly think about the PXG 0311s. And this is going to kind of fit in that category. And you probably first thought, once you hear about these, you're going to say, that sounds a lot like the PXGs. But they come at half the price. So let's talk about them a little bit. So with the P790 irons, the idea here is to take a player's iron, the way that it looks, a little bit thinner in terms of top line, a little bit thinner in terms of sole, looks more like a muscle back, or at least a kind of player's cavity back, and just pack it with all kinds of different technology so that you get extra yardage in a look that a good player, or at least a better player, will like. And then they won't kind of shun immediately out the gate with kind of thinking about like an M2 iron, which is packed with technology but has offset, thicker top line, thicker sole, and a bunch of different features that when packaged together in a game improvement iron aren't as appealing to a better player. So with the P790 irons, you have two really big components here. So first, they have hollow body construction. So they're trying to take the idea of those super game improvement irons, but put them in, again, the player's iron style of packaging. And by doing that, they created a face that is extremely thin, so about 1.75 millimeters, and they've taken that down from about 2.2 millimeters in terms of that thinness from the PSI iron. So they have made a dramatic improvement, at least in terms of percentages, even if you really can't see it, obviously, at the millimeter level, but a dramatic improvement in terms of face thickness while allowing them to maintain a compact shape that can have a spring-like effect that you kind of expect from a cup face or a face insert or things along those lines. Now the face insert is unique to TaylorMade irons too. So it's made from 4140 forged carbon steel, super soft, kind of malleable, but very, very strong, right? And they have the face insert, which normally runs the length of the face, right, from the top line to the leading edge, and that's it. But kind of taking a page from some putter designs, they created a face insert that isn't really quite like that. It goes the length of the face and then kind of wraps under the leading edge and actually would wind up at a point where the sole slots that are in the 3 to 7 iron would wind up. So there would otherwise be a hole in the irons were they not to put the slots down there, which you've seen in myriad different clubs, particularly from TaylorMade over the years. The idea that it allows the bottom of the club and the face to flex better in concert to deliver more ball speed and impact and ultimately better yardage. So the 4140 forged carbon steel face insert then connects to an 8620 carbon steel body, and that's how the clubs perform. Now we mentioned the sole slots earlier, that's through the 3 to 7 iron, then kind of once you get into the higher lofted clubs, so 8, 9, pitching wedge, approach wedge or gap wedge, depending on how you want to label it, there are no sole slots for those. And on those irons that you're kind of your scoring irons, your 8 iron and higher lofted irons, then they've kind of changed the design of those a little bit. You have a little bit longer hosel, and they move the center of gravity a little bit to where you would expect to hit the ball, which is a little bit higher on the face. So they still want to create that center of gravity profile where you can launch the ball high to the proper height, but not so high with it, if it were to be low to the point that it would just kind of balloon on you and not perform very well. So kind of two different sets of design at work from 3 to 7 and then 8 through the rest of the set. So inside of the hollow body construction, you would think, all right, well, what's going to go in there? They have come up with a new material called SpeedFoam. Now, this is different where you start thinking about what PXG does with TPU and TPE, those elastomers that they inject in and create a kind of base around the bottom of the iron inside of it so that that kind of works in concert with the thin face. It supports it, it helps sound. A similar concept is at play here, but this is a foam material, it's not an elastomer material, so that's kind of the different way that it's performing. And so you're seeing similar benefits from the folks at TaylorMade with the foam as opposed to that elastomer. Again, allows support for that really thin face, and it allows a better sound profile for the irons themselves. And then they've also introduced tungsten that they've put kind of port into the toe side of it so that moves the center of gravity a little bit, lowers it a little bit, makes it a little easier to hit, get the ball on the ideal trajectory that you want to start your golf ball. Although if you're somebody that already hits the ball pretty high, that's not necessarily the biggest concern in the world, but that's certainly something that offers a little bit more forgiveness and technology, again, inside of a player's iron with a look and feel that looks over the top of the ball classic and like something someone who is a single handicap or better would enjoy hitting. All right, so all told, this is kind of the iron that you're looking for if you're a good player that wants more distance. And this is a sharp-looking iron. TaylorMade has always made some sharp-looking irons, especially for better players. And they have really nailed it on the head with the P series. 750, 770 are beautiful, beautiful forged irons. The 790 series is no different. Different aesthetic, different set of technology. But really clean lines, sharp look. It just looks like a badass iron, which ultimately, at the end of the day, looks do play a big role in how you feel about a golf club and how you feel how it's going to perform in your hands. So let's talk price. For a set of 8 irons in the P790s, you're going to pay $1,300. You're going to get dynamic gold shafts as kind of your standard steel base shaft. They're available September 15th. So we've raised the price a little bit of an iron, and I think this was kind of a thought earlier in the year that TaylorMade was going to introduce a PXG-style high-end iron. I don't know if that's ever going to come to fruition because this feels like they're using technology that a lot of people associate with PXG. They've put their own spin on it with SpeedFoam and the tungsten weighting and the package that they put it together with their own technology. And it seems like they're going to go with this by having a $1,300 set of irons instead of a $2,500 set of irons or a $2,200 set of irons, packaging this as great for players who want a forged feel. They're not going to get necessarily the sound and feel of forged, but they're going to get some of the performance benefits of that. And then they want that to package with a player who wants to spend a little bit more money for a good set of irons, but does not want to break the bank in doing so. It'll be interesting to see how these take off, but again, available September 15th worldwide. So plenty of fitting days available. If you check at TaylorMade Golf's website, you can see for yourself where you can get these in fitting days and see if they work out for you. Let us know what you think in the comments. Subscribe to us here on YouTube, on golfnewsnet.com, or on our Roku and other over-the-top TV apps. I'm Ryan Balaji, and we'll see you next time.